and more posture. It's more back. It ain't what it used to be.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Fall savings have arrived at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale. Right now, you can receive $10,000 off the top of MSRP when you lease a brand new 2025 Mazda CX-70 or CX-90 plug-in hybrid.
The name to remember, Mark Mazda. Mark Mazda. On approved credit plus $998.
Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, heart-pounding excitement. Nitro Circus is back. The all-new off-the-rails tour. Gravity-defying thrill-seekers and world-class daredevils at the top of their game. FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and everything in between. Experience all new competitions that pit the best against the best in never-been-done showdowns. Nitro Circus. Friday, December 5th. Desert Diamond Arena. Join the action at Ticketmaster.com.
This fall, choose Primavera Online, and you'll be choosing a school with flexibility, personalized support.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Welcome everyone under the lights at Mountain America Stadium. Boy, look at this stadium. If you're not here, shame on you.
There's a long history of this facility. This is one of the biggest games ever played here.
This is the biggest game for these players, the biggest game for the city, the program, and even the valley.
Go up and go get it, young man. What a catch. Intercepted.
Buy your season tickets, because why would you not want to be in that environment?
Arizona State Sun Devil Football. Buy your season tickets now at sundevils.com.
Son, do you know what time it is?
Your father and I were waiting all night for you to come home.
I'm sorry. So we could tell you that you're eligible to become a member of Navy Federal Credit Union. Wait, what?
Since your dad's a veteran, our whole family can join and get exclusive savings, discounts, and award-winning service.
Thank you. Now go to your room and think about what we said.
All veterans and their families are eligible. Join today. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
You got the paint job, but now you need the materials fast. Get free same-day or next-day delivery on select PPG paints from the Home Depot. Now that's a pro move. Save time on store runs and get free delivery on small or large orders of select items. Save energy shopping around with PPG's wide assortment of colors and finishes all in one place. And save money with Pro Extra, where you can get up to 20% off paints, primers, and stains through Paint Rewards. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
Hi, I'm Andrew the Homebuyer. Selling your house right now the traditional way isn't so easy. The average home is taking months to sell. Fortunately, I can help. I'll come to your home and give you a cash offer within minutes. Then we can close in under 5 days. And I'll make sure you get as much money for your house as possible. Call me, Andrew the Homebuyer, today, and let's get your home sold. Visit AndrewTheHomebuyer.com. That's AndrewTheHomebuyer.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Our office computers were from like 2012.
What? They had computers then?
Yeah, I don't know much about new tech.
Apparently.
So I went to Staples and saved big on an AI-powered HP laptop and HP OfficeJet Pro printer, which also came with 3 months of free instant ink.
And we're back in this century. During Staples HP Tech Event, save up to 35% on HP printers and up to 40% on AI-powered HP PCs.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Into 11/1 select models only.
Live the horror at Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights. Select nights September 4th to November 2nd. Face your fears in post-apocalyptic LA in a haunted house based on the hit show Fallout and more. Event not recommended for children under 13.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
We give out some blame pie here today on a Tuesday. We start to get you ready for Thursday night football. Welcome in the Tuesday edition of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Streaming over on the KDUS AM 1060 app. You can always watch the program over on the YouTube channel. Just search KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you for the next 2 hours today on the show. Producer Evan is behind the glass, ready to take your phone calls. 480-864-1060 for you to hop into the program here today. But we start with some comments not just made yesterday, but over the last 2 days from the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, because in a word, they're troubling.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
Jonathan Gannon, after the game on Sunday, all day yesterday, in his Monday press conference, in his interview with another radio station here in town, took every opportunity to double down on his support of the offense, Drew Petzing, the play calling, all of it. Not once did he throw those groups under the bus. After the game on Sunday, said had no issues whatsoever with the play calling, zero issues whatsoever with Drew Petzing. And so if anybody out there has a problem with the offense, they can direct those questions at him. Now, I appreciate what Jonathan Gannon is doing there. I appreciate what Jonathan Gannon did yesterday. He did point out that they're not running the ball as well as they would like. They're missing some of the explosive plays in the passing game. He did criticize the offense and is the first to admit that it's not as efficient as they would like, but would stop short of criticizing the play calling and the play caller in Drew Petzing and this offensive scheme. And he was given plenty of chances yesterday and on Sunday to do that, and he didn't. Now, I get it. You're going to support your guys. You're not going to throw your coaches under the bus. Those coaches you brought in here to work underneath you, to row the boat for the common goal of trying to win, make the postseason, and ultimately hoist that Lombardi trophy. Doesn't serve anybody well for you to throw those guys under the bus. You don't do it. Doesn't make you a good coach. Doesn't make you a good leader. You lose the locker room when you do things like that. So I get what Jonathan Gannon is doing here. I get that he is going to bat for his guys. He scored 15 points yesterday, or 2 days ago. You scored less than 20 points a game as an offense. I'm removing the safety. I'm removing the scoop and score against Carolina. Your offense, that unit, scoring less than 20 points a game. So I understand you don't want to throw anybody under the bus. You may still have belief, but you can't tell us that there isn't a problem with this offense. Because you want to know what that answer, not just yesterday on a radio show, but just the last 2 days in general, reeks of? It reeks of there not being accountability. Now, I know there's accountability. I know there are conversations taking place behind closed doors. Now, I'm not in those meetings. I'm not at those conversations, but I've watched sports enough to know what goes on behind closed doors. I can ask people. I can talk. I've been watching football for a really long time. I know that all week long, especially now on a short week, there are a lot of meetings taking place on how to get better as a team. They're not just sitting back, kicking their feet up on the desk and waiting for Thursday to come. There is work being done to fix the issues that are plaguing this team offensively. But when you answer that question that way, you got a fan base. How mad are you at the Cardinals offense right now? How frustrated are you at watching a Cardinals offense that couldn't pick up 2 first downs when they needed them with 3 minutes to go? How frustrated are you watching a team that can't score more than 20 points offensively? How frustrated are you watching a team that has scored 5 offensive touchdowns in 3 games? Those are all rhetorical questions because I know how frustrated you are. So when you get a coach that answers those questions the way that he did, it becomes more frustrating. Or it starts to give off the feel that Jonathan Gannon doesn't think there's anything wrong with the offense. And that's a ball of yarn that if we wanted to pull on that string today, does Jonathan Gannon have a problem with what this team is doing offensively? Or is this exactly what Jonathan Gannon wants the Arizona Cardinals to be? Remember where JG came from. Remember how that Philadelphia Eagles team operates. They're not the most flashy offense out there. They lean on their defense. They lean on their running game. They grind it out. That's the way they play. That's the way Jonathan Gannon wants to play. So does he really have a problem with the way that game ended on Sunday? Or is he just frustrated at the execution of a couple of plays late, especially the Zay Jones play, that if Zay Jones catches that ball, the Cardinals are victorious. They're 3-0, and we're not having any of these conversations. And I will tell you what I fear the most. These comments, the doubling and tripling down of there not being anything wrong with the offense, at least publicly, it creates an environment on Thursday night at home, prime time, prime TV. If this offense keeps struggling, the crowd, if they haven't already, because we've taken phone calls on it, I've read YouTube comments about it. If they haven't already, they will turn on this team. And that unit will get booed off the field, will get booed onto the field. They will be booed the way Russell Wilson was booed the other night, Sunday night in New York when the Giants took on the Chiefs. That's what you are setting up. That's the environment that you're setting up on Thursday. Those types of comments create an environment where, oh, you don't think anything's wrong? Boy, we're going to show you our displeasure. You're going to hear our displeasure as this offense continues to be lost. So that's how I feel about these comments from the last 2 days. It is a doubling down. I appreciate a coach that wants to go to bat for his coaches, because a head coach is nowhere without his coordinators, is nowhere without his players. He needs the buy-in from everybody. So he's going to go to bat for his guys. He is going to defend them. But there is a way to defend them without it coming off as you not thinking there's anything wrong. And that, to me, is the feel that I get from Jonathan Gannon in the way that he's speaking, that he doesn't think anything is wrong. And that's a problem. That sets up an environment on Thursday where people are going to voice their displeasure if this offense struggles. You're facing statistically one of the best teams in football on Thursday in Seattle. All the efficiency metrics in football right now point to Seattle as one of the best teams. Sam Darnold on offense, they've been great. I know they just played the Saints. I get it. Everybody beats the Saints. But they have been really good through 3 weeks. To my surprise, did not think that they would get off to this type of start. Did not think they would be able to be this efficient offensively, but they have been. They've been really good to start the season. And if not for a fumble late, they could very easily be 3-0 coming into this game on Thursday night. So I hate what this is setting up, Evan. I hate what this is setting up for Thursday. It is setting up an environment on national TV where if this offense struggles in the fourth quarter and the Seahawks take an early, 10-3, 14-0 lead, those boo birds are going to be out in full force very early on in this game, and the displeasure is going to be shown by this fan base to this offense. I get doubling down. I get defending your guys, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, and I think Gannon's going about it in the wrong way.
I think it's one of those things where, yes, you're defending your coach, but it almost looks worse on the players, right? Like, it almost, if he's play calling well, guess who that falls on? The quarterback. Guess who else it falls on? The receivers who can't catch. It almost throws the players, in a way, under the bus. And you made the point, where does Jonathan Gannon come from? He comes from an Eagles tree that, in the last 2 years, has turned into a team, let's play winning football. We're going to run the ball. We have Saquon Barkley. No reason to throw it. But that's not the team that Jonathan Gannon was there for.
Well, but Jonathan Gannon's also a defensive-minded guy. And not to say there's anything wrong with hiring a defensive-minded guy, but defensive-minded coaches want to play grind it out, win in the trenches, win ugly style of football. That's just who they are. That's their DNA as a coach. And so if everybody anticipates an offense that's all of a sudden going to drop 30 to 40 points a game, they're going to look like the Lions and Ravens from last night in Monday Night Football. By the way, completely misjudged the way that game was going to go. Hopefully we get to that at some point during the program as well, maybe during the NFL News Dump. They're not going to all of a sudden flip a switch and throw the ball up and down the field and throw it 35, 40 times and score points at a historic rate. That's just not who they are going to be. What you saw on Sunday is more what they want to be. They just need to execute better. At least that's if Jonathan Gannon was sitting across from me right now, that's what he would tell you.
But even if you execute better, and let's be honest, and I know this defense is improved, but let's say they scored 15, we'll give them an extra touchdown. 22 points. 22 points. Let's go through it, right? Like, who does 22 points in this league beat for you? Later in the year, if you play Cincinnati and Joe Burrow's back, is 22 points beating them?
You're going to rely heavily on your defense. Again, I keep coming back to this point. This is how Jonathan Gannon wants to play football.
Is 22 points going to beat Tampa Bay?
You certainly don't think so, but again.
That's what I'm saying. You have to, and maybe they have internally, but you have to address what this team really is. And at this point, they are stagnant offensively. I know, yes, they want to control the time of possession, but if you control the time of the possession, it does not matter if you can't score, and they can't score.
No, I hear you. I hear you. The offense needs to be more efficient, and Jonathan Gannon will be the first person to tell you that. But I don't think if there are people out there today that think there's going to be a offense revolution if they get rid of Drew Petzing, somebody else is just going to fill that chair, and they're going to operate the same way. They're not going to all of a sudden light up the scoreboard and put up 35 points every week. It's not who they are as a team. Do you need me to rant that they don't have a wide receiver too? Do you need me to rant at the limitations that the quarterback has? Do you need me to rant that they're without James Conner and their running game is potentially going to take a step backwards? We're going to talk about that in the next segment. I mean, there are plenty of legitimate non-Drew Petzing reasons why this offense isn't going to wow you. So getting rid of Drew Petzing doesn't solve any of those problems that I just outlined. They are not a team that wants to live scoring 30 points a game. I'll tell you, they want to win every game 24-20. They want to win every game 24-17, 20-14. That's how they want to play. Will it work? I don't know, but that's what they want to do. So it doesn't matter who the play caller is. That's why Jonathan Gannon, after the game, says, I have no issues with the play calling, because that's who JG is as a coach. So to me, I'm starting to wonder, and I'm not putting this out there because I think we're anywhere close to needing to have this conversation. But at what point, instead of worrying about Drew Petzing, do we start worrying about Jonathan Gannon? Because to me, this comes more from him than it does Drew Petzing.
And to me, in today's NFL, it's just a wrong philosophy. Even with the best defense, eventually you're going to have a creative enough offense to beat a team on the road in San Francisco, where guess what? You needed 17 points. That's all.
And you couldn't even do that.
And you couldn't do that.
And you needed 2 points from your defense.
I don't know how you can sit here and honestly, him saying that he has no problems with the offensive play calling, to me, is just a misread of what is going on in the league.
But I am taking Jonathan Gannon at face value. He said he has no problem with the play calling. So if I have an issue, if any of us have an issue with the offense, take it up with him. That's what I'm now doing here at the end of this segment. I'm taking it up with him. At what point is his philosophy wrong? Because, and maybe somebody, 480-864-1060, I would love for somebody to debate me on this. I would love for somebody to present an alternative opinion on this. But does anybody watch this football team and think they want to score 30 or 40 points a game? That they want an offense that does that? There's nothing about the way this team operates, the way they put together this roster in the offseason, that tells me that that's how they think they can win football games. They want to lean on the defense. That's why there was so much investment in it this past offseason. And they want to just do the little things right on offense. They want to run the football. They want to win up front with the offensive line. They want to take the easy throws on offense. And they want to win every game 24-20. That's what they want to be. They have a defensive-minded coach. And it's stereotypical, but defensive-minded head coaches, they want to lean on the group that they know the best. They want to lean on the group that they're most familiar with, that they have their fingerprints on. And so that's what this team wants to do. And there's a world where if Zay Jones catches that pass on Sunday, this is a totally different conversation. But he didn't. He didn't catch that pass on Sunday. And you almost lost to the Panthers because your offense couldn't put up points and put the game away in the fourth quarter. You almost lost to the Saints. Why? Because your offense couldn't put the game away in the fourth quarter. So, JG, if you want to play that way, that's fine. But the offense has to put the game away. And for 3 straight weeks, they won 2 of the games because of their defense. But for 3 straight weeks, the offense, with chances to put the game away, couldn't do it. Couldn't do it on Sunday with 3 minutes to go. Couldn't do it up 27-9, where a touchdown in the fourth quarter all but ends things against Carolina, and couldn't do it on the handful of possessions they had up 20-13 in the fourth quarter against the Saints. They couldn't make it a 2-score game. They couldn't put the game away. You want me to buy into what you want to do defensively and how you want to operate offensively? Then give me an offense that can at least do that can at least put the game away. You're 2-1 despite the fact that you don't have an offense that can put the game away. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream as well. When we come back, it's his role now. Trey Benson, RB1. What should the expectations be? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Something Mark Cuban said, but at this point, he's pretty much the last one claiming that Ballmer is innocent, aside from Ballmer and the Clippers. Cuban is not convincing anybody of anything. Neither are the Clippers, and neither is Adam Silver. They're all just making it worse. Just like when Ballmer made it worse when he ran to ESPN and put on his Mickey Mouse falsetto voice to claim, they caught me.
1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond is worthy of a Shane Company engagement ring. Our team travels the world to see diamonds in person and handpick each one. That type of dedication only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. No matter your budget, your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
September 11th reminds us of a day when America stood under attack and stood together. We remember the victims, the heroes, and the everyday citizens who showed extraordinary courage. That same spirit of resilience lives in our Constitution. The Second Amendment protects our right to defend our families, our homes, and our nation. This is Michael with Restore My Civil Rights. If you've lost constitutional rights due to a past conviction, we can help restore them. For a free consultation, visit RestoreMyCivilRights.com. That's RestoreMyCivilRights.com.
Prepare for the Maximum Fun Tour. A day to remember. Yellow Card. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, Saturday, October 25th. Special guests, The Wonder Years, and Dinosaur Pile-Up. Tickets from $30. On sale now at livenation.com. A day to remember. Yellow Card, part of the American First Credit Union Concert Series.
If you could rewind 10 years, what would you do differently? Buy Apple stock at $20? Skip the Ghost Pepper Challenge? Maybe even rethink the skinny jeans. Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Some regrets are harmless, termite damage isn't. You can't go back in time, but you can keep termites from eating your future. Call 602-BLUE-SKY today for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, pests.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Such a wild weekend in the NFL. Where do you even start? Oh, wait, I know. How about with the Dallas Cowboys, who just got cold-cocked by the Chicago Bears, who just got cold-cocked by the Detroit Lions the week before? I don't know what's dumber. Marty Schottenheimer's son, running star wideout CeeDee Lamb out of the backfield and getting him hurt, or Jerry Jones trying to justify trading Micah Parsons by saying they had to improve their run defense, only to see them get absolutely gashed by the Bears. As always, the answer is yes. Hey, Shotty, if you want to get the ball into one of your best playmakers' hands, just throw him the ball. He's a wide receiver. They trade their best player for reasons unbeknownst to anybody. Then they get their next best player hurt by playing him out of position. What's next? Asking Dak Prescott to return kicks? Don't ever change, Cowboys. Good news is, I know you won't. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
You could think you found your dream home online. The kitchen island looks perfect for your inner chef. The backyard, a paradise for your green thumb. And that extra room, hello walk-in closet. But here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. And this sound, yeah, you're going to be hearing a lot of that. Don't let your dream home turn into a nightmare. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
If you are 50 or older, it is recommended that you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. If you're an adult 19 to 49 with certain underlying medical conditions like asthma, diabetes, chronic heart disease, or COPD, vaccination is also recommended. Talk to your doctor about vaccination today and learn more at lung.org/protect yourself. Furnished by the American Lung Association in collaboration with Pfizer.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Overreaction Tuesday. In about 10 minutes from now, boy, do I have some good ones today. I'm ready to go for Overreaction Tuesday.
I feel like I got some good ones too. I'll be honest. I think one of ours could overlap.
Really?
I think one of ours could overlap.
Is it because you have talked about it? You're talking about a team that you know that I'm in favor of or a fan of, or you're just guessing?
No, I honestly am just guessing.
I guarantee you one of mine you don't have because it is very specific.
Okay.
Like oddly specific.
Okay, then I probably don't have that.
So we'll get to that in about 10 minutes from now. In the meantime, the unfortunate news yesterday that James Conner will be missing the remainder of the season. Will require surgery. Apparently it's a foot injury, not an ankle injury. But either way, the injury will leave him out for the remainder of the season. So Trey Benson, come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. You are now RB1 for the Arizona Cardinals. And this is what they drafted this kid for. They believed he could be an RB1. They believed he could take over for James Conner at some point. And so maybe a little bit earlier in the timeline than they anticipated. But he is now going to be the RB1 for the Arizona Cardinals. And I just thought I would remind you the last time that Trey Benson was an RB1 somewhere, the 2 years that he played at Florida State in 2022, carried the ball 154 times, 990 yards, 9 touchdowns. You punch those numbers into your fancy calculator, that's a 6.4 yards per attempt. And in the 13 games, that averages out to 11.8 carries per game. The following year, 2023 at Florida State, 156 carries on the ground, 906 yards, 14 touchdowns, a 5.8 yards per attempt, bumped up over 13 games to 12 carries per game. Now, last year was not like those 2 years at Florida State. Only got about 4.8 carries per game. Only averaged 4.6 yards per attempt. Only got 63 carries last season. So far this year, 21 carries, 125 yards, is averaging 6 yards per attempt. Looking more like the guy that he was those 2 years at Florida State. He can be a workhorse. He was a workhorse in his college days at Florida State. And let's be honest, everybody, the Cardinals need him to be a workhorse. Can you envision a scenario where the Cardinals are relevant at the end of the season if they don't fix their running game? Can you envision a world where the Cardinals are in the hunt for a playoff spot in December into January if Trey Benson isn't an RB1 putting up RB1 type numbers? You know how this offense wants to play. You know what their identity is on the offensive side of the ball. You know how they think they can win games this season. If Trey Benson isn't an RB1, I don't see a world where this team is competitive. The beautiful thing about this isn't a projection of skills. This isn't taking somebody who was a number 2 back his entire college career and projecting them forward. This isn't taking producer Evan. Who was the backup for Bijan in Texas? Was it Roschon Johnson? I believe was there with him.
I think you're right. Let me double check that.
The point I'm making is everybody, when they drafted Roschon Johnson that year, and I think I'm right, it was a projection of, well, he was behind Bijan. And so you're looking at the skills, you're looking at the limited resume, and you're projecting him forward. I don't have to do that with Trey Benson. I can look at the production at Florida State. I can look at the numbers of him being a lead bell cow back and say he checks that box. He has the resume. So I can put him in that role because he's done it before. And I don't think it's unreasonable to say that by the time we get to the end of the season, he could be an 800 or 900 yard back. He's at what? 125 yards in 3 games? Producer Evan, do you mind helping me out here with the math on this? Because this is not math that I can do in my head. It's going to be a struggle. 125 yards in 3 games. Can we divide by 3? What is that what is that in average per game basis?
You get about 41 2/3.
So times that by 17 games, and that's just assuming he had the same role that he's had through the first 3 games, and we know that's not the case.
And that would give you about 700 yards.
So now being thrusted into a role of being the starter, being the bell cow, probably getting close to double-digit carries a game, 800 and 900 yards, even 1,000-yard season, very much on the table for Trey Benson. And if they don't get that, look out. Way too many questions about this offense. Way too much pressure on Kyler Murray then, with a lack of weapons to try to make up for the loss in the running game, which means there's a lot of pressure on Trey Benson to be the back that the Cardinals thought they were drafting when they took him with a day 2 pick. It's his time to shine now. There's every opportunity and there's every reason to think he can be a 1,000-yard back for this team. And if he is that 1,000-yard back, then they don't have to change anything identity-wise. They need to change what they do efficiency-wise and executing plays, but they can continue to be a run-first team if Trey Benson is going to be the RB1 that he was at Florida State, is the profile that they drafted, and is the player that they currently need him to be. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, it is an Overreaction Tuesday. Producer Evan and myself each have 3 overreactions through week 3 of the NFL season. Give them to you next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to post it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
I'm Bree.
Hi, I'm Sean.
And we are the Berquist family. We are repeat Fulton customers, and we've lived in a Fulton community for 6 years. We had been looking for a home, and so we walked into the Fulton community, and we were just absolutely blown away. When we walked into the model home, we noticed the high ceilings, the beautiful kitchen, the flooring, and the floor plan. We knew it was a place where we were going to raise our family.
And on top of that, we have a swimming pool and a good location here.
When you say the word community, you have to be able to see it and feel it. And so when you have your neighbors, you feel that community because you become friends, and it even feels like family, like a family community. And that is something that is priceless and can last a lifetime. We absolutely would recommend a Fulton home to our friends and family.
Fulton Homes. You're proud to own, we're proud to build.
Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous.
Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right. Fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long, whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside. This is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Breaking Benjamin. Stay forever. And 3 Days Grace. Live. October 8th at Desert Diamond Arena with special guest Return to Dust. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace, presented by the Big Red Radio.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
We should check in with Rooster. See how the Angry Roosters are doing through week 3 of the NFL season.
That gets me into my first overreaction. The Angry Roosters are done.
I just want to know. We haven't gotten an update. Have to listen to the Sports Zoo with the Rooster. 5 to 6 right here, KDUS AM 1060. Maybe he'll give us an update on how the Angry Roosters are doing. What a great team name that would be.
Honestly, I may leave a note in the studio. Rooster, how are the Angry Roosters doing?
Rooster's never in studio. Normally out and about. You can leave it for Flash. Flash could ask him. Certainly. Corey does the show on Monday, so Corey could probably help us out with that. We just got to know. We got to know how the Angry Roosters are doing. We also have to share with you our overreactions here for week 3, of the NFL season. Whose turn is it to go first? We are very bad at this.
So bad at this. I actually believe it's my turn.
All right.
And if I remember how we do this, we do all 3 overreactions.
Yes. Yep. Well, I react to each one as we go.
And then you'll go,
I'll go all 3.
Yep.
Yes. As you can tell, ladies and gentlemen, this is a work in progress here, the Overreaction Tuesday segment. By week 17, this thing's going to be great.
We are going to be so locked in on the overreactions.
The week 17 overreaction is going to be fantastic.
Their loss this week could send the Rams into a losing streak.
Am I allowed to ask follow-up questions?
Yeah.
Could you give me their next couple of weeks worth of scheduling?
Of course I can. So next week,
because that will determine
they
whether or
have
not
a big one next week.
Huge.
Yep. They are home.
They're playing the Panthers or something next week.
No. They're home against the 3-0 Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, little Indiana Jones action.
And then you have the Niners, and then you're on the road in Baltimore.
So 3 tough games.
Yeah.
If they lose to Indianapolis, look out.
And I said this before, or you said it, I actually believe Monday, and I think I agreed with you. While an impressive win from the Eagles, and I don't want to take anything away from them, that's really bad from the Rams. And it's almost more really bad from the Rams than more impressive from the Eagles.
I truly think that game is more about the Rams collapsing than it is about the Eagles comeback. And again, not to take away or not talk about the Eagles side of it, because that is important. And listen, at the end of the day, that's what Super Bowl championship caliber teams do. They find a way to win those types of games throughout the course of the season. So you tip your cap and you say, well done. But for the Rams to be that dominant for the first half plus of that game, to be on the doorstep of revenge for what happened in the NFC Championship game and something that could have pole vaulted their season, to instead have that happen the way it did. It's brutal.
And then just to have it happen and to fall completely stagnant and really have no answers for a passing attack for the Eagles that hadn't showed up in 2.5 weeks.
I want to be there with you with this, but this does feel like a little bit of an overreaction.
That's the point.
But because Indianapolis feels like a game they can win. So that's the thing that would stop me from thinking a losing streak is imminent. But I like what you did here. I like what you did here.
We'll see where you have Indianapolis on the Schubert scale.
I'm glad I have 2 more days to think about it.
The Vikings should start Wentz the rest of the year.
This is another good one.
This is the one I thought we would have overlap.
We do not have an overlap here. They might have to. If he plays again, they have an international game this week, no?
They have back-to-back international weeks.
So they're first up, the Steelers in Dublin.
Yep, and then they're in London.
I forget who they play in London.
And I can tell you, the interesting thing that actually the Vikings get away with, it's Cleveland. The Vikings get away with both of those games are away.
They could win both of those games with Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
And you have a full-blown quarterback controversy on your hand.
Here's the thing, right? So you have the 2 games. You're in Dublin and then you're in London. Then you have a bye.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the Eagles at home.
Boy, you don't want that to be JJ's first game back, do you?
That's my thing is so you're going to throw JJ into the fire there. But then you have the bye, right? So time to get healthy.
The bye before or after?
You have the bye before the Eagles game. So you have 2 weeks after Browns to Eagles.
It's one game, so I don't think they actually have to make this decision. But if JJ needs another week and Carson Wentz plays well and they win in Dublin, they might have to start him the rest of the way.
I think it all comes down to if JJ's ready to go for the Cleveland game in London.
If he's ready to go this week, they're going to go to him.
And this week for sure. But if let's say they win, they beat the Steelers in Dublin.
And JJ doesn't play? Then you have a problem.
Then you get to an interesting conversation. If Wentz plays again against Cleveland and you look good again, then you roll with Wentz for the Eagles. Because you're right. You can't have JJ's first game back be a big one. At that point, we're talking about the 4-1 Vikings playing a 4-1, 5-0 Eagles or whatever they could be.
I have to defend the show here because there's an accusation from our guy Matthew, who was surprised that we were saying these things with the way that we praised JJ McCarthy. And praise is a different word than the word that Matthew used for Monday night. Go back and listen to what we said. All we said in that game in the fourth quarter, who looked like the number 1 overall pick. That's all we said. That was the tone of the conversation. Not that JJ McCarthy was going to win comeback player of the year and be an MVP candidate. Those words never left my mouth. In the fourth quarter of that game, who looked like the better quarterback? JJ McCarthy. Since that moment, he has not been good to the point where now he's hurt and Carson Wentz has looked better than him.
We have said this. JJ has played 7 bad quarters of football. He did play one great quarter of football.
I don't appreciate
it. I
resent that.
And listen, Matthew hasn't been hearing us talk about quarterbacks. I guess not.
Clearly not.
Yeah.
What's your third overreaction?
My last one. The Falcons will pick in the top 5 of the draft.
You know what, dude? This is so funny. I have a draft related. That's the one I thought we weren't going to have a ton of crossover. I have a draft related overreaction to that.
Do you?
I do. I also have a team picking in the top 5. Good thing there's 5 spots. I'll go to this one first. We can talk about both of them. You want to put the Falcons there. I want to put the Dallas Cowboys there.
Yep. Yeah. You can flip a coin.
Put them both in the top 5. No, I don't think this is an overreaction. It might be. They looked really bad on Sunday against the Panthers. Like, it was really bad.
I mean,
like, really bad.
I just want to be clear. They scored 0 points against the Panthers. People are running free against the Panthers. People are running free against the Panthers.
Not Bijan Robinson.
And they, by the way, that they let Bryce Young back into his good stretch. Just needed one game, and he's back now.
So you have the Falcons picking in the top 5. I have the Cowboys picking in the top 5.
I think both teams will pick in the top 5.
All right, you ready for mine?
Yep.
You got to tell me if this is an overreaction or not.
Okay.
The Chargers are the best team in the AFC.
Yeah, that's an overreaction. The Bills play in the AFC.
I think the Chargers have looked like the more complete team for 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
I know the Bills are 3-0. I hear you. They played the Dolphins. They played the Jets.
They played the Ravens.
And it took a miracle to beat the Ravens. They were getting outplayed.
You scored 41 points.
I hear you, and they deserve credit for that. You were getting outplayed for 50-plus minutes of that game. Through 3 games, I don't know if there's a pocket of time where the Chargers have been outplayed. Beat the Chiefs in week 1 in Brazil. Made the comeback against the Broncos last week.
I just want to be very clear. There was 2 quarters in there where the Broncos probably outplayed them.
That's the point of Overreaction Tuesday.
So you beat the Chiefs in week 1. The Chiefs are 1-2 with a win against the Giants. And let's face it, if Russell Wilson wasn't 32 of 32 at the time of starting quarterbacks, they lose that game. So you played the air quote 0-3 Chiefs. The Raiders, who I stand by it, tip my cap to everybody. I was wrong on the Raiders. They stink. And then the Broncos, who, guess what? Stink. There's nothing
to...
So
you are filing this one away as an overreaction on my part.
Yeah, and the Chargers will start 6-0.
What are their next 3 games?
At New York to play the Giants and Jackson Dart's first start.
Easy. Don't do the NFL news dump ahead of the NFL news dump, please. We're going to get to that, please.
Yep. Then you're home against the Commanders.
They could have Jaden Daniels back by then.
Yeah, they could. But Commanders coming across the country.
Yeah, McLaurin's banged up. Don't know if he's going to miss some time.
And if it is his first game back, you just like the Chargers in that one.
Fair enough.
And then you go to Miami to play the Dolphins.
They stink.
Yeah, and they stink out loud.
Yeah, they do.
And then you got your first test home against the Colts.
Boy, could you imagine both those teams being undefeated when they play? What's the Colts schedule? I need the Colts schedule immediately. Because I know they have the Rams up next. We did that earlier. So they beat the Rams.
I just want to be very clear. If the Colts beat the Rams, they're a real team.
Oh, if the Colts beat the Rams, they are going to be firmly in the top 5 of the Schubert scale.
So
firmly.
You have the Rams on the road.
All right.
Raiders at home.
They can win that game.
Cardinals at home.
They can win that game.
Chargers on the road. So you can get in all seriousness, that's a 5-1 Colts team.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are not that far off from undefeated Chargers, undefeated Colts.
I need the Colts to pull this out this week.
Oh, I may make it my 3-point play.
I was just about to say that. I need a rooting interest.
3-point play just so I can root for the Colts.
Oh, I love that.
My third and final overreaction here on an Overreaction Tuesday. The Baltimore Ravens, despite losing last night, being 1-2, will still win the AFC North.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I just look at the rest of the division. Cincinnati right now atop the division, don't have their quarterback, and you want to talk about a team looking like they stink out loud without their quarterback. Pittsburgh has not been impressive. Cleveland's not that good. I think the Ravens can get this right and get back on track, despite them being in third place right now.
The problem is the Ravens' schedule just feels tougher over these next few weeks. You have the Chiefs on the road. The Texans stink out loud, so you have them at home. Then you have the Rams at home.
Do we have a list of how many teams are on the stink out loud list in the NFL this year?
We should do that.
Because we kind of throw that around kind of liberally, which is fine when it's warranted. But I've lost track of who's on the list.
You know what I'm thinking? I should scrap all buy or sell and just give
Hold on.
And just give you teams, buy or sell. The Browns stink out loud. And you can buy or sell that.
We could do that. We just need all I want us to do by the time we get out of here today, I'd like us to finalize the list of the teams that we think stink out loud.
Let's do it.
Let's just make sure we do that by the end of the program. So that is your Week 3 Overreaction Tuesday here on the program. When we come back, I don't know what version of buy or sell we're going to have when we get back here on the other side of the break. So you'll just have to tune in and listen. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
Connect directly, bid confidently. At Purple Wave Auction, transparency is key. With no reserves and no hidden surprises, you're connected directly to sellers so you can inspect and bid on quality equipment with confidence. Whether you're looking for ag, construction, or fleet equipment, we're here to ensure a clear, hassle-free experience. Register today at purplewave.com and start bidding with peace of mind. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
There are a million reasons to smile, a million reasons to laugh. And now the Arizona Lottery is giving you a million reasons to play. Because when you play Strike It Rich, all cash or any scratchers worth $10 or more, you can enter the $1 million Mega Market giveaway for a chance to win an all-expense paid Las Vegas vacation and up to $1 million. Learn more at ArizonaLottery.com. Arizona Lottery. Love the play.
Stevie Nicks.
One special night, October 7th, PHX Arena. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com.
Don't miss Stevie Nicks.
Live at PHX Arena.
At Nationwide Vision, we help you step into every moment clearly and confidently. From quality eyewear and comfortable contact lenses to comprehensive exams and professional fittings, we make finding your focus a more enjoyable experience than ever. Right now, buy one pair of glasses and get the second one free, so you can live bolder, look sharper, and see better. Schedule an appointment today to find your focus.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarterback. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and the KTUS 1060 app.
All right, let's find out together what version of buy or sell we have in the cards today. The tour guide for buy or sell. Producer Evan.
I figured if we're not gonna do the stinks out loud, or if we're gonna do the stinks out loud list, I'll do that at the end.
Doesn't that feel like a leftovers kind of thing too?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We may get to that in hour number 2 of the program.
Yep. All right. Well, you want to start with our only baseball one?
Sure.
Cal Raleigh will win the American League MVP if the Mariners win the division and keep the 2 seed.
I'll buy this. I also think Cal needs to get to 60 home runs to kind of cement it. But if he gets to 60 and they win the division, they're going to give him the MVP. A switch hitting catcher hitting 60 home runs for a division winner, I think it's a slam dunk. It's not a shot against Aaron Judge. His season has been absolutely amazing. And any other year, it's probably deserving of the MVP award. But a switch hitting catcher hitting 60 home runs is absurd.
We're talking about a player who has not only broken the record for most home runs by a catcher in a season, but now most home runs by a switch hitter in a season, and most home runs by a player of his organization in a season.
So in 1 year, he broke, I think it's Salvador Perez's record.
Home run record for
by
the
a
catcher.
Mickey Mantle's record for most home runs by a switch hitter. He passed Ken Griffey Jr. for the most home runs in a single season in Mariners history. And if we want to get, a little bit above our skis a little bit, he hits 5 home runs in the final 6 games. He would tie Aaron Judge for the most home runs in a single season by an American League hitter. Now, that's a tall order in 6 games, but that's the type of season that Cal Raleigh is having. Oh, by the way, playing the hardest position on the field.
In one of the worst ballparks to hit in.
MVP.
I really...
We had the bit earlier on during the baseball season. We called him our MVP. He's always been our MVP. No doubt he should get the award.
The Colts playing the Rams this week will give us our first real look into how good the Colts actually are.
Bye. And I also think, to piggyback off of your overreaction from Overreaction Tuesday, this will also be a really nice glimpse about whether or not the Rams can flush what happened to them against the Eagles. This is not an easy game for them. It may have been when the schedule came out. It's no longer with how good the Colts have been, with how dynamic they are offensively. So this is a really important test for both sides. It's the best team that the Colts have faced so far this season, and it is a big test for the Rams to show that they can flush a game like what happened against the Eagles.
Interesting kind of talking track about that game, too, that I wonder if you have any opinion on. The Rams' last 2 games, so obviously in Philadelphia, in Tennessee, it's a lot of travel on East Coast time zone, right? So now you're coming back to the West Coast time zone. Any effect there?
Certainly could play a role, right? Being able to sleep in your own bed and not have to worry about going back to the East Coast and playing that early. I mean, it is a sports bettors love to bring up this point of the West Coast team coming east to play the 1 o'clock game that actually feels like it's 10 o'clock for you, because that's when we all watch football here. And that has an impact on the way those teams play historically. So yeah, now being back home, being able, knowing that they don't have to travel this week, I think that could play a difference.
Let me ask you this, by the way. This is kind of a sidetrack note. Now living here, you've done the East Coast, you've done here. The 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock is fun. The 10 a.m. 1, I don't love. But the 11 o'clock 2 games, that's the best in the world.
So I have a pretty unique take on sports watching out here on the West Coast. I love the way it works for American sports. I love the 10-1 split for football. I love Sunday night football and Monday and Thursdays being at 5 o'clock. So by the time it's 8:30, I still have the rest of my evening to do what I want. I love if I'm watching an East Coast baseball game, or if the Diamondbacks are on the East Coast, that game starting at 3 or 4 o'clock. That's amazing. As somebody who is both a European soccer fan and a fan of Formula One, those are some early alarms when I want to watch my team play, sometimes at 4 a.m. on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, that's tough. If the Cardinals' offense doesn't get any better and they finish under 500, Jonathan Gannon may actually be on the hot seat.
I'm going to buy this. I did not think there was a world where we would be talking about JG being on the hot seat. But if nothing changes with this offense, if nobody is held accountable, they finish below 500 and they miss the postseason, I think that's going to be too much to overcome for JG.
We talked about this in the morning meeting to peel back the curtain a little. If they move on from Petzing, it puts more pressure on Jonathan Gannon, or if they keep Petzing, does that put more pressure on Gannon?
I said to you in the morning meeting, and I want to dive into this a little bit more on tomorrow's show about if Thursday is a win or Drew Petzing is gone type of game. Like if it's Drew Petzing's last stand, last chance saloon for Drew Petzing. If you fire Drew Petzing, just real quick on this, I don't know who's coming in to call plays, and I don't know if there's a world where it gets better. But if you fire Drew Petzing and it gets worse or it doesn't get better, there's nobody else that's going to get this blame other than Jonathan Gannon. Because let me tell you what we're not doing 3 weeks into the season. We're not saying a peep about Nick Rallis. We're not saying a word other than good words, other than what a great job this defense does week in and week out. So all the pressure is going to be on the head coach.
The defense, by the way, just to clear it up, last week gave up 16 points. By the way, they scored 2. They scored in the previous week, right? The defense has had nothing to blame on them
to
this point. No. And in the 2 victory pies we've handed out, they have gotten over 70% of the pie both times.
We got some blame pie to give out in the top of the hour.
Sunday night will be Russell Wilson's last week as an NFL starting quarterback.
So you're telling me that there is never a time from here until Russell Wilson files his retirement papers with the NFL that he is a starting quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah.
I will sell this take. He will latch on as a backup somewhere, and because of an injury or something, he will be there making a start somewhere. I think his days of being signed to a team as their incumbent, as their starter in training camp, those days are long gone. But as a backup, you can do a lot worse than Russell Wilson as your backup quarterback.
I don't know anymore. You can do a lot better.
Of course you can.
You can do a lot better. And that's crazy to say.
Now, he has to accept that backup role.
It's the other thing.
If he doesn't do that, then that's a problem. But do I see a world where Russell Wilson starts another game somewhere in this league? I do. I do. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Hour number 2, when we come back, it's the first time we've had to do it this season. We hand out slices of blame pie for the Arizona Cardinals and their Week 3 loss. We'll do it next. It's the lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
You watch these lawyers get on TV and say they're going to treat their clients like family. When we know they put secret mandatory quotas on their lawyers, that means your own lawyer pressures you into a premature, terrible result. Hi, I'm Mark Breyer.
And I'm Alexis Breyer. We're the husband and wife law team. We don't set settlement quotas. We measure success by achieving each client's best outcome and by each client's happiness.
Do your research after a serious injury. Call the husband and wife law team first.
Hey, it's Pat. The other day at work, they brought in pizza for lunch. So I swooped in and I grabbed 3 slices. The coworker next to me said, geez, Pat, you can't have it all. Then I corrected him and said, yeah, I can. And you can too. With a new 2025 Toyota truck. Power and performance, capability and reliability. Well, I must have convinced him because he grabbed the plate out of my hand and he said, good point, Pat.
Right now, get low 1.75% financing for 72 months on the new 2025 Tundra. Or get 2.99% 48-month financing on a new Tacoma SR or SR5. To check out great deals on your favorite Toyota, visit your Valley Toyota dealer or valleytoyotadealers.com today. Toyota, let's go places. 1.75% with $14.64 per thousand VAR for 72 months. 2.99% with $22.13 per thousand VAR for 48 months. 0 down payment if you qualify. Offers exclude TRD Pro and Trail Hunter models and N93025. See dealer for details.
Ooh, Del Taco? Yep, they got these new boxes that are loaded with my faves.
Big boxes, come on, can I get a Del, yeah?
Del, yeah.
What was that?
Oh, I bring these guys everywhere. Really enhances the experience.
Del Taco's El Big Boxes now come with bigger burritos. Try the $5 Classico, $7 Mex Faves, and $9 Amerimex box. More food, more flavor, more value. Only at Del Taco.
Del, yeah. Price of participation may vary.
Things today can seem kind of unpredictable. Who knows what's around the corner, right? Well, at Total Wireless, we want to give you something to be sure about. With us, you save 50% off Metro and Cricket when you switch with one line. Guaranteed. And you get to keep the phone and number you love. Visit our Total Wireless store today. 50% savings for unlimited plans versus comparable Total Wireless unlimited phone plans based on standard plan rates. Some customers may only receive guaranteed savings after contacting us and validating the current plan rate. Excludes promotional, discounted, and bring your phone rates. For Total 5G unlimited plan or higher, auto pay required. Applied on next renewal date. Additional terms apply.
Nitro Circus is back with the all-new Off the Rails Tour. World-class daredevils and FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and more. Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, and never-been-done showdowns. Friday, December 5th, Desert Diamond Arena. Visit Ticketmaster.com.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2 of the program. Welcome into lunch break. KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you. We got the NFL news dump 10, 12 minutes from now. We'll get you ready for the first of the final 6 games for the Diamondbacks this season. But we start hour number 2 of the program handing out some slices of blame pie. The first time this year that we have not given out slices of victory pie is blame pie this week. Who gets the lion's share of the blame for what happened on Sunday in the 16-15 loss for the Arizona Cardinals? I've got some candidates put on the list. You can tell me if there's anybody that we want to add.
Perfect.
Drew Petzing, Jonathan Gannon, Kyler Murray, Zay Jones, Marvin Harrison Jr. Those appear to me to be the candidates that are going to make up this blame pie for week 3. Anybody else that we want to consider putting on this list? The offensive line in general?
I was going to say the offensive line.
Okay. Throw them down there on the list of candidates. So we're going to take this blame pie and we're going to slice it up between all. Do you know who's not getting any blame? Do you know who's not going to see their name on the blame pie for week 3? That would be the defense of the Arizona Cardinals. Great job by the defense. Excellent job. No blame for you.
I just want to be very clear that Calais Campbell.
Oh, he's so good, man.
Is gonna get a slice of. Oh, he still got it pie.
I mean, he was gonna get a very large chunk of victory pie if they won the game. He got what, 10% in the Panthers game?
Yeah, and it should have been more.
We might have doubled it for this game.
It should have been more. He's 39 years old. He caused a safety in the end zone this week.
He's an ageless wonder, man. I've seen that phrase be thrown out about him a bunch here. I mean, it's incredible what he's doing at this age. Has so much left in the tank that he is offering this team.
By the way, my next, can I throw in an honorary 1% of the slice pie? The all red jerseys.
So wait a minute. So you want to put on the reason why they lost the game, the jerseys.
Yeah. Look good, feel good, play good.
Now, if we do this, that's just going to create some weird math for us at the end. But I'll go with you if you want to do it. If you want to be the one that does the math there behind the glass.
I'll do the math.
Okay, so 1% of the blame goes to the jersey combo.
And then I think we could give 19% of the, so we have Petzing deserves some. Gannon deserves some.
Kyler.
Zay Jones.
Marv.
Offensive line. Why don't we give offensive line 9%? So jerseys and offensive line makes up a 10% slice. Now we have 90% of the pie to give out.
I'm in. I'm in. So now we've got 10% of the pie allocated, 9% to the offensive line, 1% to the jersey combo. We have 90% to divvy up among the rest. And I think we have to figure out who's getting the lion's share of the blame, who's getting the largest chunk of this pie. I think I want to put most of it on Jonathan Gannon.
I was going to say, I think we got to give him at least 30%. Is that too much?
Drew Petzing is the play caller, obviously. Kyler did miss some throws. If you want to talk about the two players that individually had the biggest plays in the game,
it's Marv and
Zay Jones. But that does feel a little unfair when it's one play, although the Zay Jones play basically is the game.
Certainly. But if the game comes down to one play in a game that you gave up 16 points, it's not Zay Jones' fault.
Is it Drew Petzing's fault? Does he get the lion's share?
I think due to lack of accountability,
Jonathan Gannon.
It goes to Gannon. And I always say this, like, everything falls under Gannon.
All right, I want to give Jonathan Gannon 40% of the blame for the loss on Sunday.
I think that's fair.
40% of the loss goes on Jonathan Gannon. I'm going to do exactly what he asked me to do. If I had a problem with the way things went, I addressed them with him. Here's me addressing it with him. 40% of the blame on Jonathan Gannon. So that gives me 50% to divvy up elsewhere.
I think 10% to Marv.
So I want to go 10% to Kyler because I think overall Kyler was fine on Sunday.
I think that's fair.
The intentional grounding call was bad. He did miss some throws. But he also, threw a great ball to Marv that should have been a touchdown. He threw that ball to Zay Jones that needs to be caught. He threw a ball to Marv, another ball to Marv that should have been a touchdown.
They get the pass interference and bailed out of that one.
He was fine, but wasn't Perfect.
No.
So 10%.
So here's the way I think we should divvy this up. And you can tell me if I'm wrong. The 2 drops in big spots like they were, I would argue, and I know that the Zay Jones one would have ended the game. The Marv one feels bigger.
See, to me, the Zay Jones one feels bigger.
And I say the Marv one feels bigger for the player that it is. It would have been,
but did they lose?
They've got a touchdown, get them down to the 5.
They didn't lose the game because of that play. They lost the game because Zay Jones didn't catch the ball on 3rd and 9.
Yeah. You scored 16 points. Your first explosive play of the year.
I hear you.
Would have been.
I hear you.
And at least you could argue on the Zay Jones thing was like, he wasn't as open as Marvin Harrison Jr. There was nobody within 30 yards of Marvin Harrison Jr.
So we've got 40% to give to Petzing, Zay Jones, and Marv.
I think it's 20% to Petzing.
That would leave us with another 20%.
Split that down the middle, 10 on 10.
So you're going to say that Marv and Zay have just as much reason for the loss as Kyler does? I don't know. I don't know if I don't feel good about that.
You think they have more or less?
I think Zay Jones has more blame to share here.
Yeah. Can I be honest, though? 5% feels like if we were to give Zay 15.
What if we gave Marv 5?
No, it's too little.
Do we give Kyler 5? Do we dump Kyler down
I
from
think
10
you
to 5?
dump Kyler down to 5.
So Kyler is less to blame than the offensive line, but more to blame than the jersey combinations.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're moving him down to 5. So that's...
So then you give Marv 10%.
That's 55% because we gave 40 to Gannon. See, we're just doing a lot of math here now. 40 to Gannon, 9 to the offensive line.
1 to the jersey.
5 to Kyler. 1 to the jerseys. That's 55% in those groups.
So we have 35%.
45% for the rest.
Yeah. We want to give 20 to Petzing.
I want to give more to Petzing.
Okay, you want to give 25 to Petzing? Then we have the same issue.
It's all code with an excellent point that there's way too much math. This is supposed to be the lunch break, and I couldn't agree more now that we're in the weeds on doing this. But we're here, so we're just going to finish it. But this is a lot.
It's a lot of math.
So, okay, so let's back up. 40% for Jonathan Gannon. I want to go 20, and I want to give more of the blame for Zay Jones than to Drew Petzing. I mean, that play in and of itself was a great play design from Drew Petzing. I want to go, you ready for this? I want to go 40% Jonathan Gannon. I want to go 25% Zay Jones. That gives me what, another 15%?
Yeah.
I want to go, I don't like the way this math is breaking down here. 15% for Marv?
For Marv.
So write this down, see if this math works. 40% for Jonathan Gannon. 25% for Zay Jones. That's what, 65%?
65.
How much am I giving to Drew Petzing? 15? 10? 5? Drew Petzing, 5% blame. Him and Kyler both have 5% blame in this game on Sunday.
Okay.
And then I think that's 10% for Marv. So what does that break down to now?
Okay.
Go ahead. Put that in the fancy calculator and make sure that we add it up to 100 there.
We need 5 more percent.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
What do you mean? We have the jerseys with 1%. Kyler with 5%.
Yeah, so you have, okay. Let's just say the offensive line is 10. Just take out the jerseys for a second. So you have 10, 25, 45. That's 75, right?
Okay.
Then you have 5% on Petzing.
Don't do it this way. Now I'm confused. You lost me. I need an abacus to figure this out. Let's just do it in order. 1% for the jerseys.
Yep.
5% for Kyler Murray.
Yes.
5% for Drew Petzing.
Yes.
That gets me to 11%.
Yes.
9% for the offensive line.
Now we're at 20%.
I'm at 20%. I'm giving 10% to Marv.
Now we're at 30%. You gave 25% to Zay Jones.
So that gets me to what?
55. Now you added 40% to Gannon.
So you know what?
45%.
45% to Gannon. There you go. Done.
There you
Lock it in. That's your blame pie for week 3. Do you want to read that back to me to make sure we did it right?
45% to Gannon. 25% to Petzing. 5% to the quarterback.
Okay.
5% to
See, we're lost already.
45% to Gannon.
Yes.
25% to Zay Jones.
I'm good with that.
5% to the quarterback.
Oh, no, why can't you just go in descending order so that I can see how it feels?
Okay. 10% to Marvin.
Start again. Go back to Gannon at 45%.
Gannon, 45%. Zay Jones, 25%. I'm a huge nerd. 10% to Marvin Harrison Jr., 9% to the offensive line, 5% to the offensive coordinator, 5% to the quarterback, and 1% to the horrible jerseys they ran out there in San Fran in.
You add all that up.
You get 100% of the blame pie.
I think I feel good with that.
Go have a slice, everybody.
I feel good with that.
Yeah.
I don't think this game is on Drew Petzing as much as other people. I don't think Drew's been great, but I'm not sure that this game is on Drew as much as everybody else is making it out to be. I think the mentality of the team in general from Gannon, the drop from Zay Jones has a major role in this game. The jerseys certainly played a part. Not a fan of the jerseys, huh?
No, I'm excited to see the ones they wear Thursday, though. We'll see how bad those look in person.
Is this when they're wearing the...
Yeah, the new ones.
They're wearing them this week?
Yeah.
When's Seattle wearing theirs?
I don't know. I think it's a home game, though.
I'm looking forward to seeing these. What are they called?
I'm calling them the desert jerseys.
Like sandstorm kind of jerseys?
Yeah. Paint splatter, whatever you want to call them.
I'm excited to see what they look like. That's just me personally.
They could look bad.
They could look bad, but they also could look great. So there you have it. Hopefully you were keeping track at home. Hopefully you had your slide rule out, your abacus.
I would like to apologize to everybody about the
and we
lack
struggled
of math.
with that. We struggled with that. We're going to get better. Next week will be fine. But there's a lot of I will say I think the entertaining part of us talking it out the way that we did is there are different groups and people that had a hand in why they lost.
Certainly.
And so I think you have to talk it through because when you do the math, I don't feel like Jonathan Gannon and Kyler Murray deserve the same amount of blame for that loss on Sunday. I don't think Zay Jones and Kyler Murray deserve to have the same amount of blame for that game on Sunday. I think Kyler played fine. Zay Jones has to catch the football. And if he catches, and the reason why I don't want to just go after Zay Jones here, but let me make something clear. The reason why it's 25% is that one play is the whole game. That one play is the entire game, him dropping. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream where we're being made fun of for our educations and for our inability to do math on the fly. You come sit here in this chair with the red light on and the lights in your face and trying to do live radio and math at the same time. It's not easy. It's not easy to do this every day, okay?
I'm a huge nerd.
When we come back, it's Tuesday, 12:15. It's time for the NFL News Dump, the latest news from around the world of football. Get to it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Something Mark Cuban said, but at this point, he's pretty much the last one claiming that Ballmer is innocent, aside from Ballmer and the Clippers. Cuban is not convincing anybody of anything. Neither are the Clippers, and neither is Adam Silver. They're all just making it worse. Just like when Ballmer made it worse when he ran to ESPN and put on his Mickey Mouse falsetto voice to claim, they caught me.
1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Welcome everyone under the lights at Mountain America Stadium. Boy, look at this stadium. If you're not here, shame on you.
With a long history of this facility, this is one of the biggest games ever played here.
This is the biggest game for these players, the biggest game for the city, the program, and even the valley.
Go up and go get it, young man. What a catch. Intercepted.
Buy your season tickets, because why would you not want to be in that environment?
Arizona State Sun Devil football. Buy your season tickets now at sundevils.com.
Summer's here, and SRP wants to remind you that swim safety starts with W. That's right, W, as in Water Watcher. Keep pool time a good time by designating an adult who can swim and know CPR. Be sure they avoid distractions, always scan the swimming area, and ensure that the pool gate stays locked. Assigning a water watcher is a simple step to help prevent drownings and keep everyone safe around pools. To get more water safety tips, visit srp.net/pool.
Judas Priest and Alice Cooper.
the night sky.
The Metal Gods, Judas Priest. The Godfather of Shock Rock, Alice Cooper. October 22nd, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater with special guest, Corrosion of Conformity. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Presented by 100.7 KSLX, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Hi, Luis Gonzalez here. Want to bet? Feel the thrill of Casino Arizona with 1,400 of the hottest slots and nonstop table game action. We make winners, no experience necessary. Join us for the best bingo in the valley with daily sessions. Indulge in all-you-can-eat Eagles Buffet or enjoy fine dining experience at the award-winning Choya Steakhouse. Enjoy top-notch local entertainment, tribute bands, and viewing parties at CAZ Sports Bar, just off the 101 in McKellips. Casino Arizona, uniquely Arizona.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Sometimes the beauty of football is in the chaos, the collisions, the wild finishes. But last night in Baltimore, during a Monday night showdown between the Lions and Ravens, the beauty was in the contrast. Quarterback is the most scrutinized position in all of sports. And here we had two of the best, showcasing that there's more than one way to master it. Lamar Jackson is electricity in cleats, a quarterback who forces defense to account for every inch of turf. When he takes off, the game bends around him. When he doesn't, the threat of his legs alone is enough to open up throwing windows. His improvisation is at its finest. On the other side, Jared Goff plays with a surgeon's precision. He doesn't wow you with anything, really, other than ball placement, rhythm, decision-making, the backbone of Detroit's resurgence. Together, they reminded us of why the game is so special. There isn't one blueprint for success at that position. There are many, and that's what makes football so fascinating. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. With DraftKings Pick 6, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL, your game day instincts can score you real money fast. And here's the kickoff bonus. New DraftKings customers get $50 in bonus bets with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. This season, play your player instincts. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now. Use code Patrick. Code Patrick, you play just $5 to get $50 in bonus bets for Pick 6. Make the call, ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. If you miss anything from the show, including that last segment that's going to win us the ratings war. I mean, are you kidding me with what we did in the last segment? You can always listen to us back in the podcast feed. Just search the lunch break wherever you get your podcasts.
That's got to be the best 15 minutes of radio.
I mean, I think since you've been on the program, that's the best segment we've ever done. I mean, that was just some elite radio content there in that last segment. We're going to try to follow it up here. We'll give it our best shot because it is time for the NFL News Dump here on a Tuesday. Producer Evan, what is happening in the world of football?
A look around the league, and it starts in New York. Jackson Dart announced as this week's starter on Sunday. They are benching Russell Wilson. He did not cook as a Giant.
I am really intrigued by this because they had Jameis Winston on the roster. Could have very easily turned to him as the starter if you felt like Jackson Dart wasn't ready. You made him the backup. He was getting plays in the game. Brian Daboll said, we don't put people on the field if we don't think they're ready to play. So they clearly feel like he is ready, but it just feels like a move for Daboll and maybe to a certain extent Joe Shane, their general manager, just feels like a move designed to try to save their job.
I was just about to say that. That feels a desperation move. And if Jackson Dart comes out and looks good, guess who keeps their job? Joe Shane, Brian Dable.
Yeah, I mean, if he looks good and he's ready, no harm, no foul. But if he struggles, I don't know where you go from there. Not just for Jackson Dart, but for Dable and Shane and everybody involved. So I'll say this. They couldn't continue to play Russ without just insulting their fans. So they were between a rock and a hard place in many ways here. Like, they needed to do something. I'm just surprised that they didn't try to go to Jameis first, maybe for 2 weeks, to see if at least the offense could look a little bit better, and then turn to Jackson Dart. But you take the kid in the first round. He looked good in the preseason. You're designing packages for him during the first 3 games of the year. I can't blame them overall for giving him a shot, especially, I mean, that red zone possession. It was a benchable offense, and that's exactly what they did.
He threw the ball away 3 straight times.
You just can't do that.
It was like I'm on the phone with my dad and my brother, kind of talking about the week of football, and the 3 of us just start laughing.
You just can't do that.
You can't do that. Mike Evans out 3 to 4 weeks on his quest for his 12th straight 1,000-yard season. He's going to miss some time here with a hamstring injury. Not going to play for the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Missed some time last year, too. Still got to the 1,000. You remember the moment at the end of the season. They got the ball back. Game was in hand. Todd Bowles put the ones out there on offense, and everybody in the building knew every one of these plays is going to Mike Evans.
And in a game, by the way, that they needed to make the playoffs.
And they were already up big. They had the ball. They could just run out the clock. Everybody in the building knew that when they put the ones back out there on offense, that they were getting the ball to Mike Evans. They did it anyway, and it still worked.
It was awesome.
It's still possible for him to do it again. Huge blow, though.
If we know anything about Baker, he will make sure it happens.
Well, and the other thing, too, is they're down Chris Godwin right now. He's not back. So a big role for Ikbuka to step up.
Has to be.
Sterling Shepard is there.
Kate Otten, more involved.
Those are going to be the guys that have to step up here until Chris Godwin comes back, and then ultimately Mike Evans can return. This Bucs team 3-0. They're doing it with some smoke and mirrors, some magic late, but 3-0 is 3-0.
Interesting to see if they'll run the ball more. I like Bucky Irving.
He's been good.
He's been great. Interesting to see if they'll do that. Brian Callahan is giving up the play calling duties in Tennessee. I think this is a good idea. He doesn't really know the rules, so might as well hand it off.
Can you do me a favor?
Of course.
Can you open up a tab on the computer?
Of course.
And can you look up Brian Callahan and tell me what he did before he became the head coach of the Tennessee Titans? This is kind of a leading question because I know the answer to the question, but I want for the radio audience, I want to go through it this painstakingly. Do it this painstakingly. Before he became the head coach of the Tennessee Titans,
he was the Cincinnati Bengals offensive coordinator.
Okay. So we hired a guy in Tennessee because he was the offensive coordinator for Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals because he was going to bring offensive creativity to Tennessee. We then draft a quarterback, number 1 overall, to pair with our offensive-minded head coach. And now, at 0-3, the offensive-minded head coach, who, by the way, doesn't do anything else well, do I need to remind everybody that he doesn't know the rules of the sport, is now going to give up those play-calling duties. He might as well go down to the local U-Haul and get the boxes and pack his things. I mean, he's done there in Tennessee. Who do they play this week?
Because
if they lose again, he's gone. I'm surprised he's not gone already.
They are at Houston.
They lose to 0-3 Houston to get to 0-4. He is done. He's giving up the play calling duties. Then what is he doing as a head coach? You give up the play calling duties if you're going to be able to do something else. I don't trust him to manage a game correctly. He doesn't know the rules of football. And for those of you who maybe missed it, a couple of weeks ago, he did not realize that an elbow being down equaled 2 feet being down. He didn't know that and admitted to it during a press conference.
Just don't say
anything.
anything.
Now he's not going to call plays. What's he going to do then? He's going to be gone if they lose this week.
The 0-3 Texans have made a roster move. They released C.J. Gardner-Johnson today.
It's a weird one, right?
Odd. Didn't see that coming.
I saw a note during one of the breaks. I was checking social media. Just 3 weeks ago, they converted some of his money to guaranteed money.
Yeah.
So this certainly wasn't in their plans a couple of weeks ago.
That's really feels like maybe something happened in the locker room.
Is this an accountability decision? I can't say I've watched the Houston Texans with a close eye through the first 3
I haven't
weeks.
either. Listen, as an Eagles fan, I've watched a lot of C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and the Eagles, they love to ship him out of town, bring him back, ship him out of town.
When did we change from Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to C.J. Gardner-Johnson? When did that happen?
Ever since he's been an Eagle, I've always called him.
He's gone to the C.J.
C.J.
No, that's how. He, originally, it was Chauncey.
It was
we just
Chauncey.
changed to C.J.
Yeah.
When did that happen? I must have missed.
To be honest,
when that happened.
I think it's when he was still a Saint.
Interesting.
But a lot of people just call him CJGJ now, which I like too. You don't like that?
C.J. Gardner-Johnson is a lot, but Chauncey Gardner-Johnson wasn't much better. Was a mouthful as well.
But no, Gardner-Johnson cut.
Is it a accountability thing? Is it he didn't want to be there anymore and he was maybe causing a stink? I mean, there's so many different reasons why this could have happened.
He's a personality in a locker room. And so I wonder if they just started to butt heads, and as things got 0-3 after being on 3 consecutive very good football teams, he started to lose the locker room in there.
I'm out.
Deuces. Last night, a very impressive win from the Lions. Aiden Hutchinson with a strip of Derrick Henry. That is a play that will maybe change the Lions season from 1-1 to another great year for the Lions. They are now tied with the Packers for the division lead, but a very impressive win in Baltimore.
Certainly not how I saw this game going, but think about this. 2 Derrick Henry fumbles have stopped the Ravens from being 3-0.
I was just about to say that. From the best running back of my generation, without a doubt, is Derrick Henry. And I don't know if I can ever say a time where I think he might have a fumbling problem.
I mean, if we did the blame pie for the Ravens, it's those 2 plays that have stopped them from being 3-0 and being the best team in football.
In all seriousness, yeah. They're normal stretch plays.
And instead, they're 1-2.
Yeah.
Changes how you think about. And when it comes down to home field advantage late, they're now 1-2. The Bills are 3-0. The Bills beat them head to head. They've already dug themselves a huge, massive uphill battle.
For the 1 seed, I mean, the Bills, talk about being in the driver's seat. You're in the driver's seat.
I mean, other than the Chargers.
Because the Chargers are going to charge her at some point. Like, they just naturally are.
They might not, but I hear you.
And the other argument is, well, the Bills are going to build.
No, you know who you have to worry about? Indiana Jones. 3-0 Indianapolis Colts.
That's true.
Forgot about them for just a second.
I did.
Also undefeated in the AFC.
Malik, go back to this. Malik Neighbors may have been right. Remember when they had that horrible start last year and they asked him in the locker room and he said, it's not the quarterback, DJ's just fine?
Oh, we don't have to say might be. He was absolutely correct.
Yeah. Certainly right.
So the Bills, Chargers, and Colts sit at 3-0 right now in the AFC.
Another question for you about Daniel
Jones. Just the way
Jones.
we all drew it up going into week 4 of the regular season.
You think Brian Daboll's got to be kicking himself, right? Watching the Colts put up 30-plus points a week. I mean, in all seriousness.
Is he kicking himself, or is he just not that good of an offensive mind?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's watching that thinking, maybe I'm not as good.
And boy, that would concern me about putting Jackson Dart out there.
Yeah.
Watching what Daniel Jones is doing in Indianapolis and wondering if Jackson Dart isn't just going to...
In all seriousness, maybe Joe Shane was right. Maybe they are bringing in the right quarterback.
Well, they let him go now. They cut him last year. He was on Minnesota's roster at the end of the season.
I know. Kevin O'Connell.
Everybody laughed when he beat out Anthony Richardson for the Colts starting job, and they were making it more about Anthony Richardson. But my goodness, he's been excellent through the first 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah, how did nobody at practice be like, no, Daniel Jones has been lights out.
He's been great. Do you have any more stories? Do I need to hit the music bed another time?
That is all of our stories this week.
So then there you have it. The Week 3 NFL news dump here on the lunch break. When we come back tonight, they start the first of the final 6 games of the regular season. It's Diamondbacks, Dodgers. We'll talk about it next. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed, all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
Hosier presents the Unreal Unearthed Tour 2025, live in Phoenix. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, October 7th. With special guest, Amble. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The #1 album, Unreal Unearthed, is available everywhere. For more, visit hosier.com.
Cool off with a road trip to northern Arizona's beautiful AAA Four Diamond Resort. Football freaks, crush our $57,000 pigskin pick'em and score up to $500 free play weekly and up to $5,000 cash at season's end. Swipe your Players Club card at any kiosk to make your picks. Tuesday, 8 a.m. through Sunday, 10 a.m. For the following week's games, 15 players will score cash or free play. You'll love Zenith Steakhouse, awarded for excellence by Wine Spectator, the D. Rona Award for Excellence, and Open Table Diner's Choice Award. The place to come when you want to have too much fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
It is Shohei Ohtani against Brandon Pfaadt tonight in the opener of a 3-game series for the Diamondbacks against the Los Angeles Dodgers. The first of what is their final 6 games on the regular season calendar. They start play today, just one game back of the Reds and Mets, who are tied. Technically, the Reds own the tiebreaker for the third and final spot in the National League wild card race. We're here, the final 6 games of a season that 2 months ago, you didn't think we would be having this conversation. I didn't think we would be having this conversation. And I don't really want to do the math thing again, mainly because of the way the math went for us earlier in the program. But in general, we've talked a lot about the math for the Diamondbacks. I want to focus on just how impressive this run is from this team. And how, and I may have some blame in this, we're not making enough of what they have done since the trade deadline. The way that they have played to even make this a remote possibility with 6 games to go in the regular season. Think back to August 1st when the trade deadline was in the rearview mirror. You didn't have any hope about the future of the Arizona Diamondbacks. I know because there was a lot of pushback to my position that they made the right moves and they were setting themselves up to be relevant in 2026. I was the guy who said, don't punt on 2026, that 2026 could still be a relevant season. You don't have to look ahead to 2027. Now, I didn't expect this type of run in this team, but it is this type of run, and I'll put the phrase on it. Maybe it's being hyperbolic. I don't think so. This is a franchise-altering run that this team has gone on since the trade deadline. They've kept that building packed. They've made these games relevant. They have put themselves in a position to maybe pull off the upset of all upsets. And instead of the trade deadline coming and going and this team just kind of limping to the finish line, nothing of note happening, the team not playing well, the Ketel Marte cloud hovering over this team, they're not relevant, and they go into an offseason where Ketel Marte may get traded. Corbin Burns isn't going to be here. Do they fire Torrey or do they keep Torrey? All of those conversations would be conversations that we would be having, and it would be for a team that would be out of it, for a team whose budget is going to come down at the end of the year. And it would be a missed chance. You would say maybe it's the same old Diamondbacks. A Diamondbacks team that missed the opportunity, and who knows when they'll get another opportunity. Isn't this run proving that Mike Hazen and company were kind of close? Isn't this season proof that Torey Lovello kind of knows what he's doing in that dugout? He may not be perfect. He'll be the first to tell you he's not perfect. He'll be the first to tell you he makes mistakes. I'll be the first, maybe the second, to tell you that he's not perfect in that dugout, that he makes mistakes over the course of a regular season. But this run, the way that they have played since the trade deadline, has changed the way you should all look about 2026. It should change the way you look about 27, 28, and beyond. Now, bringing it back to what the next couple of days are going to look like, what the final week of the regular season is going to look like for the Diamondbacks, just focus on what you can control. And the only thing the Diamondbacks can control is their own results. Win as many games as you can over these final 6. Let the chips fall where they may. And I'll speak for you here, but I think the way this team has finished this season, you are proud of the effort that this team gave you this year. You are proud of the way this team fought. You are proud of the core of this team not giving up when it was well within their rights to give up after what they did at the trade deadline. They didn't do that. They fought, they scratched, they clawed, and they're in this spot where we start the final week of the regular season in baseball, and they are one game out of a playoff spot. And I know what the math says. The math says it's pretty impossible. The math says they're going to need to have the best week that they've probably had all season. And they have to do it against the Dodgers and Padres, who start today's action just 2.5 games separating those two teams at the top of the NL West. So they're both playing for something. You're not catching a team that's out of it. You're not catching a team that has everything locked up and isn't playing for anything. You are catching teams that need the games just as much as you do. So it's going to require your best. But what I want to say here ahead of these final 6 games, whatever happens here, whatever happens over these next 6 days, these 6 games, this has been an impressive run since the end of July. This is a run to be proud of, and this is a run that should inspire a ton of confidence and hope into 2026.
That is the biggest takeaway from the end of 2025 is 2 things. You didn't roll over and die, and you have talent that will make you a contender. And not only a contender, but a serious playoff threat next year. You have the core still there. You have seen what Blaze Alexander can give you. You have seen what Jordan Lawler can give you. You feel like you may have some young starters you can rely on in Ryan Nelson. This core is still here. This team can still compete. Do I think they're a couple pieces away? Sure. Do I think they're going to lose Zach Gallen in free agency? Probably. Do I think that's a reason to give up on 2026? No. Because there's a feeling in that locker room that even if they don't make it, post-trade deadline, when everybody said they're out, 1 week left in the year, here we are, scratching, crawling, fighting to get the last spot. Everything.
This was not on any of our bingo cards when they traded away the players they did at the deadline. I mean, I thought we would just be in full-blown football mode. I thought we would be in Torey Lovello's future mode. Are they going to trade Ketel Marte mode? All of that has gone away. All of that have not been conversations that we've had, nor do I think we're going to have them at any serious level in the offseason. It's just a credit to how good this team has played over the last 2 months. Credit to them. Credit to Corbin Carroll. Credit to, I know he's struggling, but credit to Ketel Marte. Credit to Geraldo Perdomo. Credit to Gabby Moreno. And credit to just everybody. The pitching staff, the bullpen's been excellent since the deadline. That's really been the thing that has been at the center of this turnaround. Just awesome that this gets to be the final week. And if somehow they pull this off and they get in, boy, I think this would feel way differently than 2023. And that year they went to the World Series. I think this would be even more impressive than that if they were able to pull this off. It starts tonight. They take on the Dodgers, starting a 3-game series. It's Shohei Ohtani against Brendan Pfaadt tonight in the first of 3 games with the Los Angeles Dodgers. 480-864-1060 is the phone number to join us here today on the show. We've got one more before we are out of here today on the program. We call it the leftovers. It's all the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the show. We will get to them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Sprouts Farmers Market has fresh, better-for-you finds at prices you'll love so much, you won't want to leave the store.
Okay, I guess I gotta leave my happy place now. Back to real life. I got everything on my list. Cage-free eggs, organic fruits and veggies at great prices, all these amazing supplements.
Mom, we're gonna be late for jujitsu.
Do we have to leave? I just love it here so much. I don't want to go back to real life. I don't want to go.
Sprouts Farmers Market. Incredible finds at prices you'll love.
Tired of running out of hot water? Right now at Precision Air and Plumbing, get 25% off a tankless or hybrid water heater. Systems that deliver hot water on demand, take up less space, and cut down on energy costs. It's efficient, reliable, and perfect for Arizona homes. And with flexible financing options, it's more affordable than ever. Make the precision decision today and call us at 602-765-PIPE.
Make a precision decision with Precision Air. Phoenix, are you ready to ascend?
Bring Me the Horizon. USA Ascension Program Part 1.
Every sky will build, my friend.
Taking over Footprint Center, October 2nd, with special guest
Crawling from hell.
Motionless in White, The Plot in You, and Amira El Fiki. On sale now at livenation.com. Bring Me the Horizon. Presented by the Big Red Radio.
When is Kate getting here?
Should be any minute. She was on one of her Goodwill treasure hunts.
Treasure hunt? Oh, here she comes. And in an amazing new jacket.
Ready to rock, guys?
You definitely are.
Where'd you get that?
Don't you love it? I got it at Goodwill.
Kate got it at Goodwill. With hundreds of thousands of unique items arriving in-store daily, you can get it at Goodwill too. Find your convenient neighborhood location at goodwillaz.org. Nonprofit for good.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarter. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and the KTUS 1060 app.
Wrapping up the Tuesday edition of the show. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll have a top 5 list tomorrow. We'll talk more about Drew Petzing on tomorrow's program. We'll start to get you ready, turning the page for Thursday night's game between the Seahawks and the Cardinals. And then we'll also have the first of these 6 games between the Diamondbacks for the rest of the season for the Diamondbacks to recap. So we'll get to all of that on tomorrow's program. But before we get out of here today, it is the leftovers, all the stories that we did not get to throughout the course of the program. Producer Evan, what do you have on the docket for us here today?
Okay. So there's 2 ways we could do this. I have 2 leftover stories, and then I have we're going to go through the teams that I think are in the categories for stink out loud.
So we are going to do this today.
And you're going to have to decide if they stink out loud. Do you want to do the stories I have first?
Let's get the stories done first. I'd also like whoever is yelling in the hallway of the radio station to keep it down, but
I apologize.
It's troubling. No, it's not your fault. You're not you've got a fan on in there. You're trying to keep cool, but it's a radio station. We got people screaming in the hallway.
Yeah.
It's troubling.
It is. It is very troubling.
Trying to do a radio program here. I got people screaming in the hallway.
Troubling at Oklahoma State. They have let go Mike Gundy, and it's the end of an era. End of an era in college football.
Mike Gundy, at his peak, was one of the best coaches in college football.
Certainly.
And since that peak, never got anywhere close to recapturing that magic.
Yeah, it really didn't.
I'm surprised that they did it mid-season.
I thought for everything he had done for the program, you let him finish the year.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
You give him that respect. It's, I think, for the school to do it that way. Like, it's not like they fired Herm mid-season. Not at all the same situation.
No, I mean, Mike Gundy was that institution, right? Especially on the football side. And so you feel like you give him more of a runway. And if you were going to make this type of move this early in the season, why bring him back in the first place at the start of the year, right? If you were going to be this quick to move on from him, shouldn't you have just made a change during last offseason? I don't know. Just feels weird. I don't know what direction the university goes in. Are they going to get somebody as good, as qualified as Mike Gundy? We'll see.
Major League Baseball, massive announcement. Coming in 2026 full-time is the automatic ball strike challenge system, the ABS challenge system. We saw them use it a little bit in spring training.
Yep.
It will be full-time, 30 ballparks all across the league.
Yeah, the league's competition committee voted today to implement the challenge system for balls and strikes using the ABS system. Teams will get 2 challenges to dispute calls at home plate. And if you watched any spring training action, you saw that it can be instituted by a couple of different people. If the batter doesn't like a strike call, taps the top of his helmet. If the pitcher doesn't like a call, he can tap the top of his hat. Same thing with the catcher. He can tap his mask if he doesn't like the call from the umpire that they think something is a strike, but it was called the ball. You get 2 challenges. Now, I'm assuming it's going to work the same way that it did in spring training and the way it works down in the minor leagues. And I don't know if you have this detail, producer Evan. You get 2 challenges, but that means you get 2 wrong challenges. If you win the challenge,
you can keep going.
You keep going.
So
you get it right, you still have 2.
Yeah.
You go until you get 2 wrong, basically.
Is the way I understand
That's
it.
the way
correct?
it worked in spring, and that's the way it worked in the minor leagues.
That's the way. Yeah. I'm interested to see, like, if you're down to 1, what is the strategy going to be? Are you going to tell certain hitters, like, hey, we don't really want you challenging?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to have to be meetings with players, and like this is where the data is going to really help of when it feels like the right time to do it. And you're going to have to probably have you're going to have to get the pitchers and your catchers involved and discuss, hey, these are moments we think it's important to do that. Now, in the heat of the moment, when you think you've got a call that was completely wrong,
you're going to challenge it.
You're going to challenge it, right? And so I do think there's going to be a really interesting kind of chess match that we'll see how it gets utilized by these teams, which is a fun little wrinkle.
All right. Stinks out loud.
I mean, I think if we're going to do this is rare for us. I'm using music like 4 times today.
We'll start in the American League, or the American Football Conference. My bad.
The AFC, as it's referred to to most people.
Yep. My bad, everybody. We start in the AFC. Obviously, the Bills do not stink out loud.
No.
What about the New England Patriots?
No, they don't stink out loud.
The New York Jets.
They stink out loud.
The Miami Dolphins.
They stink out loud.
Okay. Bengals with Browning.
It's a one
Jury's
game,
out.
It's a 1-game sample size. I don't want to do that just yet.
Cleveland Browns.
They just beat the Packers. Defense looks great. I can't say that.
Houston Texans.
I think they stink out loud.
They stink out loud.
I think they do.
The Tennessee Titans.
Oh, they absolutely stink out loud. They are the poster child for stink out loud.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
They don't stink out loud.
The Denver Broncos.
They don't stink out loud.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
No.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, I want to do it so bad, but they have a win. I'll wait a little bit. I won't put them on the list just yet.
The New York Football Giants.
Do I have to give them a wait and see approach now because Jackson Dart is under center?
No, because Daniel Jones is in Indy. They're 3-0 and scoring 30-plus points a game.
Put them on the list.
They stink out loud.
Put them on the list.
Nobody in the NFC North.
No.
The Bears.
No.
I don't think so either. The Carolina Panthers.
I mean, they just won a game where they won 30-0.
I agree.
You can't stink out loud and give me that type of performance.
On the flip side, the Atlanta Falcons.
No.
No. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
That team stinks out loud.
No, I don't think so.
Yep. From the organization, from the owner to the bones of the stadium, they stink. The jerseys look horrible. Until they look like a real football team, they're never going to win. The New Orleans Saints.
They definitely
They stink out loud. The Niners.
No.
I know they're 3-0. They might, though. Anybody in the NFC West?
No.
Okay, so that gives us 1. I think Atlanta, but we won't put them on. So it's 1 in the NFC South, 1 in the NFC East. There's 2 teams in the NFC that stink out loud because you also said the Cowboys don't. There is 2 in the AFC South, and there is 2 in the AFC East. So you have 6 total teams.
Okay.
Let's think out loud.
It's All Code is making an interesting observation in the YouTube chat. That if you put the airport code to your airport on your uniforms, that stinks out loud because Atlanta just has ATL.
Yeah.
He's trying to back you up here.
I agree. Can I also, another nitpicky thing? What's up? First of all, the Broncos had nice jerseys. Then they've completely ruined them. And the little thing they wear here on the helmet that says 5280, what if they play away?
Well, do they wear those on the road?
Yes. It's on every helmet.
Okay. Then yeah, I hear you.
It's so dumb. I can't. And I'm with It's All Code.
So how many teams?
Also, why did the Falcons rebrand? Their jerseys were fine.
How many teams?
We had 6 teams.
That feels about right.
I think it should be 7.
7, that's a lot.
If you lose 30-0 to the Panthers, you stink out loud.
But you beat the Vikings.
That was the worst performance by a football team.
No, it's the worst Sunday Night Football game I think I've seen ever.
Like, congratulations.
I hear you, but they have a win in prime time. I can't get there. I can't.
Okay, last thing I want to do for you.
Is this a football-related thing?
This is not.
So then I got to get rid of the music.
Okay. In the National League,
okay,
now, we are making the switch to baseball.
The baseball, okay.
In the National League, the Diamondbacks 1 spot out. Mets and Reds tied for the last spot. Who gets in as the 7th seed?
The Cincinnati Reds get in as the 7th seed.
Official pick, 1 week to go. Chris is taking the Cincinnati Reds.
They play the Pirates, who have nothing to play for, and the Brewers, who have nothing to play for.
Yes. So
that's the difference maker for me.
Here's an interesting take on it that I have.
You've got like 5 seconds.
The Pirates will start a guy like Skeens towards the end of the year. Whereas the Padres aren't going to start their horses in the last series.
They might if it's to win the division. If they can win the division, they'll do it. So it really depends on how the thing about it is the Diamondbacks need to beat the Dodgers.
Spot. Yeah.
But by beating the Dodgers, they're
going to keep the Padres in.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a very
interesting
weird thing. We're out of here. Jim Rome's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you.
AM 1060 KDUS